what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail reaction. Today we have If I Can Stop One Heart from Breaking. Genetic Xavier requested this one alongside Had I Not Seen the Sun, but I don't really have the time for that one since If I Can Stop One Heart from Breaking is just long enough for me to do in one video, so I'm like, I'll just do the one. If you really want me to get to the other one, by all means just request it again, and I'm sure we'll get there, especially with how many people wanted me to get to this one. There was like 85 likes on this or something, so there's plenty of people, I think, that would want me to get to the other one, but I can only do the one today for time's sake. So I guess without further ado, let's go!
Birds are born with no shackles, then what fetters?
Oh! It just hit me that this is like regarding the same Robin, right? That I listened to a few weeks back. I was like, why does this voice sound familiar? And then I remembered the thumbnail. I was like, duh, okay. Sometimes I'm a little bit slow.
Spread the wings, soaring past the night, to trace the bright light.
Oh.
Let the clouds heal.
Sorry, those chords, they had a little bit of extra sustain on them. Next chord? Nope, okay. Leaving us hanging a little bit there.
Outside my days, once again repeat wobbles, but how could I escape?
Ooh.
No further
God, it's really balancing that tension well.
on those unanswered questions. So now I'll make a dream unchained.
Ooh.
Then my heart waves
Okay. God, the choices that they're making with some of the chord, like, not just the progressions, but the changes, the adjustments. Ooh. That was more standard because it had more going on, but that piano in the beginning especially.
Let my heart bravely spread the wings, soaring past the night, to trace the bright moonlight.
Love that guitar coming in there when it did. Really good placement. And again, no resolution at that point. They move right along to this. Which doesn't feel like it's gonna resolve either. Kind of, just a little bit. Not really though, it wasn't like a full resolution. It definitely lets you dangle there for a little bit. Man, they love doing that with Robin songs, don't they? I have been here for 7 years. Hi, it's been so long. It was just a cut for you guys, but I've been here forever. This song has so many changes to it, and I don't have perfect pitch, so trying to figure this shit out on a keyboard is like a fool's errand, but I do it because I love what I do. Anyway, okay, so there are a bunch of changes in this one. I'm going to nail it down to 2 of them. One is around that line where it's like, but how could I escape? This moment in here where it's like, oh, like that's not fair. It's not in the key. It's like a half step. It's like everything before that was played on slightly different notes. Like it was basically just like half stepping down. And it's this weird chord too, because it's like a G flat 5. Who uses that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who uses that? I'm pretty sure this entire key is somewhere in one of the G keys. I can't tell if it's G minor, G major. There's a lot of G major stuff happening here, but there are so many adjustments throughout this song that I can't really actually commit to what key it's in because it shifts and changes. And I feel like multiple times we get key changes and chord changes that disrupt whatever key it was supposed to be written in. And that's the point. This song changes so much. Like, it's reflecting how you do, and this microphone isn't close enough to my face. Sorry. Anyway, so there's a bunch in this song. There's another one that took me literally like 20 minutes of that just to try and figure out exactly what it was. Just plunking around on the keys trying to figure it out. And it's this other moment in here that's like right after that, the mention of being unchained. You get this little adjustment in here that goes, and I think it's, which is like I think that's like an A sharp, which is weird because like that's that note that you land on. It also starts there. And then I think that's it, but then it also adds the bass line, which I actually can't go that low on my like small keyboard, but this would be like 2 octaves lower, like down there. So it's like I can tab through that, but I can't play it. I don't have that many keys. So it's like, you see why this was a struggle for me to figure out. I think it's something like that. Oh man, what a gorgeous adjustment. I mean, like, just this alone has such power to it because it's just the octave with that F in the middle of it, just making it lock in. But I think that D in the middle also is there to kind of give it this full sound. So we have this like A sharp, B flat, and this D here at the top, and then it goes up to the D sharp here, and then back down to the C. It's like, that's such an odd, and then it has to go back down to that B flat here, which is also A sharp for those who aren't in the know on music theory, and it just kind of settles in here. That's again the octaves of the A sharps or B flats and the D and F in the between there. It's a very beautiful full chord. It has just everything you want in there in between that octave, just the perfect step up. But man, there's so many moments like that in the song, and that's why it was bugging me, because like there's just too many. I can only do so many things. I am but a man and not a properly trained one either. I'm just an idiot with a keyboard trying to tell you all of my favorite things. I'm self-taught and I self-pluck around, but at the end of the day, there's some beauty in this song, and every single time those changes happen, it's at a significant moment in the song where they're trying to make you hang on those emotional cues. They want you to think about things. They want to leave you in a little bit of suspense to make you reconsider the path that the song is going, that the character is trying to talk about. What could be changing? What could the narrative be doing? Where could it be going? You're not allowed to know. And it's little moments like that that really sit there and let you float in that. Because again, who the fuck uses a G flat 5 in 2025? For real. It's insane. Like, I mean, obviously a lot of people do, but it's like, in here, it's like, that's way too jazzy of a chord to fit in something like this. That's otherwise such a beautiful arrangement. It has so much flow to it. But again, every change in this song is bashing you against the head with like the message that there are changes constantly happening. There are moments where you're not going to know the answer, that you're going to be left in suspense, and you're not allowed to know what those answers are. You just have to deal with those questions. Those have to resonate in your mind and just kind of bug you a little bit, because there are so many of them in this song that it has to be intentional for the character, right? That's not just to get away with some key changes, right? Like, there's way too many of them to just be key changes. Sure, there's a lot of key changes in here too, at least adjustments. I mentioned that during the reaction. There were definitely like moments of suspense where like they use weird stuff like this, where there's multiple keys in here that could lead into other full things like these. This is an ad. It's like, why? If you were to add another one to that, that's like a 7. Like, it's really unfair having this like relationship here of these 3 notes, that G flat 5, because there's so many ways that could change to something else. If you add that E in there like I did and give that full array, that's pretty much at least a half step away from anything, any key that you could imagine. So it's like, where's that gonna go? You know, it just leaves you hanging on that note and you don't have answers for it. And it's like, that's the beauty of this song. This entire track makes you feel like you're stuck in a suspended state. And it's like, oh man, I'm nerding so hard on the musicality. I haven't even talked about the lyrics yet. But I think the perfect way to talk about the lyrics is by starting with that exact moment in there. Right when they were talking about escaping, this question's being asked in these chords, and it's like, can I? And it's like, okay, so like, can I escape this like endless cycle? You don't know. You're not allowed to. Not yet. Not sure of what's happening here then. Then they talk about their dream being unchanged. So again, we get that in there, and it's like, okay, well now we have a change. We have a moment where the entire song shifts where it's going. At that moment, things are unchained. The dream is changing. There's something happening. There's motion. They're spreading their wings. You start to see where it all comes together. It's beautiful. And they still change stuff. Like there's more of those moments, like I said, not nearly as many. It does seem to like hang on that like higher note through the rest of the song, but again, by the end of the song, it does not resolve. It just sits there and fetters out like crazy. You don't get to really get an answer. It kinda half does. Like, that's where I was kind of joking at the end of the reaction moment, where I was like, okay, it's there kinda. It like settles in, but it's such like, it's like a feathery drop, you know? Like, there's really not a solid confirmation that the dream is now here. It's reality, and here we go. Everything's great now. All my dreams were answered. I've made it. That didn't happen. You know, there's still that air of uncertainty that you're left with, and you're left sitting in that moment, wondering if you're going to have answers. And this song does that entire thing here. The entire first part of the song talking about being stuck in that rut, not being sure if you have a way to make those illusions reality, a way to break out of that monotony of your life, to be able to make sure that your dreams can be what you want them to be. And we get those moments where it goes, and it just asks those questions, and you're not allowed to know until it does kind of shift it around and answers them with a big, nice major chord, and it feels so resolving in that moment. It feels so captivating, you know? It's just like, yes, we're here! But again, by the end of the song, it doesn't give you those answers. What a beautiful fucking composition. Like, there's a reason I'm nerding out about this. There's a reason I'm yapping so much. It's because I adore it when songs do this. I love it when they have composers who put their whole heart and soul into the meaning of the music, not just lyrically. The lyrics are great, they reflect perfectly, but the music and the lyrics together here are what tell this story 100% of the way through. You would be able to understand those moments in the music, sure, but being able to place that down into more of like, I guess, a visualized way by having the lyrics there and them just straight up telling you what the story is about, you're able to piece this whole situation together a little bit better. There are these moments in here that are completely ambiguous, just like that moment, and it's like, okay, cool, fantastic. You're not allowed to know what that's about, and without the lyrics, you wouldn't even have a hint what that's about, why these moments are in there to change things up a little bit. There was a constant repeating ostinato in this song that was just kind of playing behind the verses, and it was very consistent. You know, it's, again, you're sitting there playing these same notes over and over again, just kind of creating the legwork for the song, and that was all the same. But these moments are what changed that idea. You know, we were getting those repetitions all the way through, and that's keeping you grounded until the moment that you're not. And it's just, oh God, I love it when they do this. They did a fantastic job on this one. Beautiful, beautiful work. I feel like I'm just going to keep saying that in circles and bringing up those two spots because that's all I had the time to learn and figure out in the time I had. But I wish I could learn more, but I also don't know how to play the piano that well. So with that said, I will end it here and stop yapping. So thank you all so very much for watching. Like I said in the beginning, if you want me to get to that other song, by all means, drop it in the comments below again, and I'll make sure to get to it next time if you really want to see that one, or request something else if you'd rather me listen to something else. I'll do kind of whatever. It's just whatever you guys want me to get to, cover, and talk about. That is entirely up to you. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.